Hello, everybody. It has been a while since we have been here. Billy, say hello to everybody. Say hi. Give five. Okay. Hi. Let's see. You're a crazy one. Today is episode 36. Yay! We've been so busy lately and so many wonderful things happening, some really difficult things happening. We found out recently that one of our very dearest friends passed away, and that has been really, really difficult. And we've been working through just processing that, and we're, you know, all over again a little bit devastated, and it's just been a year of that, but super grateful to know him and to still feel his presence, and the synchronicities and beautiful experiences we've already had since he passed have been really beautiful and magical and wonderful. And so I'm just so grateful to this work that opens you up to being able to experience your loved ones on the other side. It is very real and it's so beautiful. And so yeah, I'm really grateful and also really sad to lose a friend that was really close to our family. Um, Let's see. Since we last met, my best friend and soul sister Iggy came just for a quick layover. She was headed to her son's army graduation, and she had a 3 hour layover in Phoenix. And I was so grateful. It was like the universe just knew we needed some time together. It was definitely not long enough, but we had some really good talks, and we always do. It's always like a very spiritual, soul enhancing um, experience every time I'm with Iggy. She's so powerful and so beautiful, and she's taught me so much. And I was expressing to her a lot of shame that I've been really feeling, especially with people in the last like 4 years that I have really hurt with everything I've been going through. And some of these people I'm not in contact with anymore, and I was just feeling the need to like reach out and apologize and acknowledge how selfish I was and how just literally dysfunctional I was during so much of that time as I was working to figure out who I am and to heal myself. I had no idea how dysfunctional I was. I had no idea how selfish I was being because I was just in it and doing my best. But when I look back from a more healed point of view, I see so much narcissism and selfishness and dysfunction. And it's difficult for me to live with sometimes. And Iggy was telling me, that I have work to do on figuring out how to forgive myself. And I'm out here trying to forgive those who have hurt me. And I seem to not have nearly as hard of a time having compassion for the people that have hurt me, or the ways that I've been wronged, giving people grace, giving people second chances, and really just forgiving. But when it comes to me, she was telling me I haven't forgiven myself, and I really didn't realize that. And it broke me wide open. I was like emotional for like 3 days and just kind of feeling the wounds that haven't healed. And so I've been working on more mantras of self-love and self-forgiveness, and just realizing that all of the negative things that have happened to me have truly shaped me and given me an opportunity to grow. Jesus Kate always says everything is valuable. And so, especially with my children and the way the dysfunction in me has affected and hurt my children, it's so hard to let go of that and to forgive myself. I see sometimes the damage that I have caused in my children's lives in different ways. And it's just glaring at me. And it's so difficult to say it's okay and we're human to myself. And I just want to keep committed to being healthier and more healed so that I can understand the ways that I've hurt other people and take ownership and accountability for that. And hopefully, in me acknowledging the ways that I've hurt them, their wounds can be seen and cared for and healed. And each generation can just do better and better, is the hope. I'm working really hard to break toxic generational patterns and different belief systems and things that were very much ingrained into me. And it's not easy and it can be messy. And so I am so thankful for the love of my children and my closest friends, and for the grace they give me, and for the forgiveness and compassion they show me. And I will continue to keep working on giving myself that same compassion and grace. We had a Sunday lesson recently with the kids, and all four of us parents, really acknowledged a lot that we struggled with, and tried to take ownership and accountability for some of the ways that we have made mistakes in their lives and with each other. And it was a beautiful, emotional, family meeting. And we talked about how the Polynesians have a prayer called Ho'oponopono. And that prayer is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you, I love you. And to say that to yourself, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I thank you, I love you. I might be getting the order mixed up. And sometimes I see Ho'oponopono say, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I thank you, I love you. So sometimes it's please forgive me, and sometimes it's I forgive you. But either way, we can say that to ourselves, look in the mirror and say, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I thank you, I love you. And while it's so important to acknowledge and take accountability for the mistakes we make, it's just as important to give ourselves grace and love for being human. And so that is just something that I am still working on. And I'm so grateful for my friendship with Iggy, where she can just straight shoot it and tell me exactly what she sees in me. And unlike most people in the world, I will just receive it and open myself to it. So many other people, I'm like, don't act like you know me. I can figure out things for myself. But Iggy is just one of those trusted people in my life where I understand that her ego is not involved in the ways that she sees me, and the ways that she's trying to help me with her directness. So grateful, so grateful. The other night I had one of the most incredible Reiki experiences of my life, and Jesus Kate was working through my body and giving Reiki to AJ. We had just found out about the loss of our friend, and AJ needed some comfort. And I asked him if I could tickle his body and just give him some massages and relaxation. And we turned on some of our favorite instrumental music. It's called This Will Destroy You. You can look it up on YouTube or Apple Music. It's wonderful, beautiful music. And we turned that on, and I was just tickling his back and giving him little massages. But very soon I could feel Jesus Kate starting to enter the room and come into my body. My body started shaking with the energy it was like electric currents running through me. And I started feeling the energy of AJ's body, these channels of energy flowing, and the places where it was heavy. And through the breath, being able to move that energy. And then AJ's breathing started to change as we were listening to this music and I was doing this Reiki. it turned very quickly into the most powerful Reiki experience I've ever had. And Jesus Kate said to me, "This is Reiki." It was so cool. I could feel the energy running through my body. I could feel the energy in AJ's body, and we just worked together, and he was breathing it out. And he had no idea I was having such a powerful spiritual experience with the energy that we were moving. He just thought he was getting tickles and massages, but his breath changed. And when I would release a heaviness from his body, he would breathe this deep sigh out. And it was so cool to feel how in sync our bodies were and how connected our energies were as we moved the energy from the heaviness from his body. And pretty shortly, Anthony came up, my 11-year-old, and he said, "Can I have tickles?" I said, "Sure, come and lay down." So I had my right hand tickling AJ's back, and I had my left hand tickling Anthony's back. And normally that would be really difficult for me to figure out as far as like coordination. And a lot of the time when I'm tickling two people's back at once, which is often AJ and Anthony, my hands go in the exact same motion and the exact same rhythm. But when Jesus Kate was in me, she has like octopus times a million abilities. It's so cool. And so she was moving. I was basically just observing my body move the energy in both of these guys. And so my hand was moving completely differently and at a different tempo on AJ's body and in tune with his energy, and completely different and at a different rhythm and tempo for Anthony's body. And even now it's like hard for me to do that. I have a really hard time doing that by myself. But when Jesus Kate was with me so strongly, I was just amazed watching both of my hands give individual Reiki to two different people at once. And she just made it feel and seem so easy. And she was so full of love for these two human beings. And I was just overwhelmed with love. And she was just showing me that that is what Reiki is. That is what life energy is love and electricity and magnetism. It's literal energy. And so it was such a cool experience. And then it was time for Anthony to go to bed. And I was wondering, because he was breathing the same way that AJ was breathing. When I would push a heavy piece of energy out, he would give these big sighs, these big exhales. And it was so cool to feel his body responding to the Reiki work as well. So I was kind of wondering, like, I wonder if this is any kind of experience for him other than just a regular tickle session, you know? And when I put him in bed, was tucking him in, put his blankets over him, I just said, "I love you so much." And he said, "Love you so much." And then I was walking out and he said, "Mom." And I turned around and he goes, "I just want to tell you that I am so grateful that you're my mom. Thank you for being my mom." And he started crying. And I went back to his bed and we had this beautiful spiritual experience together. And Jesus Kate was still with me so powerfully and was so full of love for this little boy. And we just held each other, and I told him how grateful and honored I am to be his mom. And I apologized to him for the times that I'm not patient with him, or like when I raise my voice or whatever. And he just thanked me. He was so full of gratitude. "Thank you for taking me to the trampoline park. Thank you for making me meals," you know. And I told him, you know, tickling your back is like a spiritual experience because I love you so much and I could just feel the love flowing through me into you. And he said, "You tickling my back is a really spiritual experience for me too." And it was just a beautiful moment. And we both decided we would remember this moment for the rest of our lives. And we were just holding each other and both really emotional. And I just knew that it was from this Reiki energy and from this beautiful experience that Jesus Kate was providing to me that I was able to connect with him in this way. And I expressed to him, Jesus Kate wants you to know that she loves you too. And he said, I love Jesus Kate too. And it was just a really beautiful experience. So I really feel like I gained a deeper level of understanding. I have had some incredible Reiki experiences up to this point, but I have never had such a powerful one as this. And it was really cool. And I was so grateful. Then yesterday, I facilitated my very first sacred medicine session. I call them deep medicine sessions or sacred medicine sessions since we experienced a really big and tragic loss 9 months ago. I have not worked with anybody. I haven't done a Reiki session. I haven't done a sacred medicine session. I haven't done a hypnotherapy session. I have been grieving and processing and giving all my energy to helping my family get through this time. And yesterday was the first time, and it was so beautiful. And I am absolutely amazed by the work that this medicine can do. And I am, just the facilitator and holding space for the person as they and this medicine work together to heal and allow for release and allow for connection. And it was so beautiful. This woman that I was working with was able to reconnect with her childhood self in a really profound way and felt so healed by just looking at this little girl, a picture of herself as a little girl, and seeing how brave and how strong and how beautiful this little girl is, and being able to kind of carry that line of braveness and strength and beauty all the way to being able to see those same qualities in herself now. And it was just absolutely wonderful and beautiful and made me so excited to be back in, baby stepping back into working with other people. It is such a joy and such an honor to be able to facilitate those kinds of sessions. So super grateful for that. I also wanted to mention that Anthony, my 11-year-old, he showed me this YouTube video the other day, and I thought it was great. And I've thought about it so much since, and I am totally paraphrasing, but it went something like this. If I were to give you $10 million today, would you take it? And the person's like, yeah, of course I would take it. And the guy asked, well, what would you say if I gave you $10 million today? And it's like, I would be overjoyed. I'd be so grateful. I'd be like, thank you. He's like, okay, well, I could give you this $10 million today, but the only catch is that this is the last day of your life. You don't get to wake up tomorrow. And he said, do you still want the money? And immediately he's like, no way. I'm not going to take that money if it means that I'm gone tomorrow. And he said, then that means that you waking up tomorrow is worth more than $10 million. And that gratitude you would have expressed for that money, we can express every day we wake up and have another chance at this life, this beautiful experience on this life, on this earth, and have that same joy and gratitude. Thank you, just for waking up, because we wouldn't trade $10 million to not be able to wake up. And so I loved that so much, and I've thought about it a lot, and just what a rare and beautiful and valuable experience this life is. And when we really start to embrace all of this experience fully, we realize that there is value in the pain, that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And suffering comes when we attach ourselves to our pain, and we have things revolve around our pain, and we create value out of our pain instead of just honoring it for the lessons that it teaches us and letting it go and flowing with life. And so I hope as we move into this very crazy political, wild, few months in the rest of this year, we can just try to show love and kindness and have gratitude that we're even here, and even look at how far we have come and try and focus on the positive. Because in one of my recent medicine journeys, the spirit of the tomato was teaching me that each tomato is like a neuron in a neural network that is all of the tomatoes, like the tomato collective. And each human is like a neuron in this neural network. We are all connected. We are all connected. And the energy we are giving out affects the rest of the human species, even though we can't always see the way that we affect, the rest of the neural network. We do. And so the best way for us to heal as a country, as a planet, is to do our inner work, to go inside and to say what wounds need seen and cared for and healed. And that is the scariest work. This woman I was working with yesterday she was so nervous before she took her medicine. And she was saying, I'm just so scared of the unknown. And I said, I hope you're so proud of yourself for venturing into the unknown. So many of us do not want to look inside. And so we distract ourselves with all kinds of dysfunction and drama so that we don't have to just simply slow down, be quiet, and listen to what is aching and hurting and yearning for attention inside of us, and working to really heal that. And so I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for all of it, every part of this life experience. And I'm grateful that I get to share my journey with you, all those who enjoy watching. I truly appreciate it. All of your feedback means the world to me. And I think I'll close off for now. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.